Hello, this is Nemesis, and this is my first third-party review. This is Maketoys MTRM-09 Downbeat, their version of a masterpiece jazz, and unfortunately my first jazz toy ever because of various reasons. But yeah, it looks like jazz from the cartoon. Yeah, it's a Porsche. I can't remember which the version exactly, but yeah, it rolls. It's got nice real rubber tires, although in my case what's happening is everything sticks to those tires because of the material. So like you roll them on anything even vaguely dirty, one little piece of something will just stick right to the tire, unfortunately. Real difficult to clean. But yeah, it rolls. It looks well like the cartoon. A lot of the livery and labels and whatnot are missing. And there is a repro label set for it if you want. This is more cartoon accurate. I'm probably not going to bother with the repro label set. I really don't like stickers that much. So there will be one sticker I get, though, for eventually the robot mode, and you'll see it when we get there. But yeah, it's the car mode. One big talking point is, of course, the rear end. You see that it just kind of sits there. Another thing is a lot of people are, and including me, are having a problem with this. These don't always like to stay aligned. Like sometimes what happens is, well, stuff like that happens. And I mean, it stays okay, but every once in a while it'll just kind of pop apart a little bit. Yeah, this rear bumper is what's got a lot of people upset. This just sits here, low to the ground, doesn't fold up or anything. It kind of sucks, but it's really easy to solve it. There. Problem's gone. Oh no. But yeah, there's also some accessories you can use in the car mode here, including these things. These are speakers. You can plug them in. There's little holes on each side right there. Just plug them in. They don't go in all the way, so don't try to force it. You'll break something. Just plug them in. And there. Like that one time. I think he's done this a couple times in the cartoon, where he's just driving along with his speakers blaring and whatnot. So, yeah. That looks good. But, of course, we got to transform this guy. And to do so, let's start off. Oh, and the other thing I almost forgot, this right here, this comes down. This is for the robot mode, and it kind of sits there, and there's not really much you can do. It doesn't fold up any further or anything, so you're always going to have this little thing hanging down. But there is no ground clearance problem, even with all that very tightly packed down there. So it still rolls just fine, though. But anyway, transforming. First, you want to split the bumper. Kind of a little bit right there, and then lift this center. You also just split a little bit right back here. There's a couple tabs right there where the windshield meets the hood. You want to pop open. Then you can take the roof and the center hood part. Just raise them up. Take the front, fold it in, and fold that in. Well, make sure you have a proper clearance first, then fold it in. Then from there, take the doors and raise them up a little bit just to get them out of the way. Then take the front wheels and pull them out to the side. The head can come up right now, I guess, if you want. If I can get it. Yeah, it's on a little stalk. You want to come down to the bottom, though, and then fold that down. Make sure these are really out of the way. And then start pulling this whole assembly, this whole thing in the front just kind of moves up on this right here. This whole arm assembly. This goes up. And from there, you want to take the front tires and tab them in. They will click. Because a lot of people aren't putting them in all the way. Put them all the way down until they click into place. It will take a little bit of pressure, but it should be fine. Then take the arms and kind of wiggle them out. They can be a little bit of a clearance issue at times, but isn't too bad usually. Just kind of want to slowly move them out. Don't force it too hard. Straighten them out. Twist. Take that. Fold it in. Twist it around. Same on this side. Unfold the arm. Fold that in. Twist the whole bicep around. Straighten out the hands. Then you also want to take them. They're on these little sliders. You want to slide it down. All the way to the back. Slide it down. And at this point, if it hasn't done it so by itself already, you want to take the hood and collapse it in on itself. It won't stay tabbed together too solid right now, but that's okay because what you're going to do to make it tab together will come into play. Then from there, the head just kind of folds in on here. There's no real locking point or anything. It just kind of sits there. Then you want to take this whole assembly and get it past the hood, or the roof. And you're probably accidentally going to move stuff a little bit when you don't want to. You want to take that whole assembly, move it forward, and then this is where the tricky part comes in. Try to hopefully get everything like these tabs right there. Those tabs right here need to go into little slots right here on the wheels. And they can be kind of annoying to kind of line up properly. But you want to do it, make sure to do it on both sides before, otherwise the arms will not tab in properly and you're not going to have fun in the robot mode. And then you want to tab these in right here into the little red piece right there, and that should make everything that holds together nice and solid. Arms, chest, everything will hold nice and solid. Then take the doors. You want to make sure the floor is facing inwards. Mine's already got a little scratch. Oh no. Okay, that sucks. But you fold those in like that, and you take the whole roof assembly, and there's this little, I guess, divot here. You want to fold that up all the way up, and there's no tabbing point, but it's solid enough that it won't collapse on itself. So just do that, and you're golden. And the whole upper body is done. Now for the rear part, the legs and stuff, you want to split this whole thing. Put them both apart. And from there, you want to take this assembly, and you want to slide this, you want to untab a little bit, and slide the rear window forward a little bit, I think. You slide that forward. That gets it untabbed, and gets out all the way for all this stuff. And then you want to take this whole assembly and just kind of, on this part right here, you want to move it out of the way and kind of hold it right there for a bit. We're going to take this, you untab it, and you take this whole assembly. The instructions aren't too clear on this, but you take this whole leg assembly. It can sometimes kind of stick here because it's tabbed in right here. You want to take this whole assembly and just kind of rotate it. It might get caught, but just be careful, and it rotates. And you want to slide this to the right point so that this right here will tab into that slot right there. And for a lot of people, I'm going to show this off right now. A lot of people are having a problem of this doesn't sit flush because of something. So you can actually just remove this whole piece. And right here, this part here can be a little bit of a ridges kind of left over. What you want to do is remove this whole piece and just kind of wiggle it back and forth like this several times. It'll kind of grind away a little bit of the plastic. And it should, from there, make it so that you can just easily tab things in without any problems. And then you can just pop it right back on, because again, real easy. And then, boom, and it should sit a lot better than it did before. Now from there, you want to open this up and start also trying to get this all lined up. I like to take this and kind of move it forward. This kind of, this little thing right here kind of rests on the pin here, and you kind of adjust from there and just try to get it all lined up. And from there also, this white piece that was sticking out so ugly in the car mode, move it up. Make sure again this is all lined up. Trying to line up as best as possible. It will line up once it's all tabbed together. And then from here you kind of take this heel piece, move it out, and then move this whole thing down. It's on a little arm right here. You just kind of move it down, although not all the way yet, also get in the way. And you want to take the spoiler, rotate it to the side, outward, and then on this, there's this piece right here. You want to take this and kind of move it up and forward, and this will this right here will tab into that slot right there. Nice solid. There's no click or anything, but it will go in nice and solid. And then this whole piece will tab it. This tab will go into this tab right here, on that little slot right there on the, and it's all lined up. That's the tricky part, is getting it all lined up. When it is, it's nice and solid, and then you can move the foot down in the right spot and close this up, and that's one leg done. And then you do the whole thing all over again on this side. Move this out of the way. Slightly. Slide this forward. Move it out of the way. Keep moving it out of the way. Forward. kind of accordion this piece. Oh, take this flap, move it out, accordion this whole thing outwards. If it will, yeah, this is the one that's kind of stubborn in the car mode. Put outwards, slide it into position, get that tabbed in, then move the side piece so that it's there. Move that up, and move that. Open. See, yeah, it's sometimes a little tricky the first few times you transform it. It's just kind of difficult to remember the exact order, because some of this, yes, you will need to do a very specific order, or else it doesn't like it. But once you kind of get it down, it's not so bad. But it's just kind of getting to that point of figuring out, okay, this is where these things need to go. Once you get to that point, though, it should be all right. Just getting there is the tricky part, to that point of you're comfortable enough with the transformation to do so. And once you got that all done, there you go. You've got Jazz or Downbeat in robot mode. Yeah, and he looks great. I mean, wow. That is a phenomenal Jazz right there. I mean, he's got a whole bunch of stuff. He also has several accessories, including different faces and whatnot. And also the nice thing is so there's a face swap accessory, and we'll see, raise this up a little bit, just to hopefully, right, face swap. So it's actually pretty easy. You just pull off the helmet, and the stock is probably going to come up a little bit. Pull off the helmet, and then you're going to have to wiggle the face mask forward a little bit. And notice this thing is the visor is a separate piece, so be careful. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be glued up, but mine had to be one of mine had a problem. But there's two extra faces. There's this face, which is supposed to be a sneer or something. This shouting face. I don't like this face. It's kind of weird looking. But yeah, it's just really easy. You just kind of tab it on. No screws or anything, which is nice. Just tab it on and then put the helmet back on, and you're good to go. And you'll probably have to move it back into position. Yeah, it's also nice. This thing also, you can do the G1 toy version, which is just just flare the wings out and put this back. And of course, you can have this accessory. It's a rocket cannon thingy. And this is slots. Just slots right here under the hood. Slots on, no problems. And boom, you got it's got his cannon accessory. Just sometimes things might come a little untabbed while you're doing so. It's a little weird like that. Yeah. Oh, whoops. Yeah, it just popped it all off. Still to me. See if I can actually get this. There we go. I don't know why it's having such trouble. But yeah. There you go. See, now it's more G1. We're going to load the camera right down. Yeah, G1 toy version, I guess. I prefer a cartoon version, so that's what I'm going to go with. I never had the G1 toy. Yeah, there's that stuff if you want it. He also comes with, of course, his rifle, which, like most Masterpiece style toys, just has a slot on the hand for the tab to go in. No big deal. And he's got his grappling hook thing. It doesn't cover his entire hand, but does have the string and everything. It can be wound up. There's the slot for the hand. It's a little tricky getting it on. You have to kind of put it in and fold the hand in with it, and it doesn't like to totally go on properly until, yeah, there you go. You have to kind of fold the hand in while you're tabbing it in. It's a little tricky, but there you go. It's in there. It's in there, though. You got your grappling hook accessory. And getting it out is also kind of annoying. But it's doable. Just kind of a little bit of wiggling and hope. Biggest, of course, problem is just the hand doesn't like to uncurl while you're doing this. There you go. And oh, of course, speaker accessories they peg on right there. They peg on all the way on these ones though, so don't have to worry about that. Just once again, got those, and he's got two more speaker accessories. These things, these tab onto the hips. Those little tabs right there kind of go on that tab right there. So got to do it right, or else it doesn't fit. So have them angled downward, and there you go. He's got a speaker, so he can blast your face off with some music. So get these off real quick. So posability, up here on the head, he can look left and right. He can look up and down a little bit thanks to this joint, but it does mean he does have a bit of a actual, I think it's a ball joint in there, yeah. But it's kind of limited when you start pushing too hard because of the shape of the head and whatnot compared to start looking up and there's that whole thing, and oh geez, oh god, what's wrong with his neck? So don't make him look up too hard. Shoulders, forward, back, no problems. Oh, it just came untabbed though, probably because I was messing with it earlier. And that's kind of might be a problem for some people. It might just every once in a while come on tabs. Just be sure you got that all nice squared away. Good. Looks up, outward, actually way up too. See, way up. But bicep, which is a nice tight one, so tight that sometimes I accidentally do that. Don't do that. Double jointed elbow. So nice amount of curl there. I think you might be able to. Yep, again, it's kind of one of those, depends on how you curl it, which part you bend first. And of course, wrists swivel, and the hands can open and close. They look pretty good as open hands, although I don't want to put them out too far, like there. That's good, I think. Waist, it does swivel. Nice swivel. The kind of, though, it stops right there. That's as far as it goes, unless there's the ab crunch. It has an ab crunch. See if I can show it off properly. Yeah, it's got a really, really deep ab crunch. And when you do that, then all of a sudden, hey, what do you know? When you use that ab crunch, suddenly your waist can go a lot farther. How about that? But yeah, really nice ab crunch there. So, I mean, there's a huge gap, but it's not too bad, I think. And also kind of makes his abdomen kind of shrink away, unfortunately. Also, this thing is tabbing really bad right now. I don't know why. It wasn't like this before. Of course, probably just reviewer's luck. This was fine before, now it's not because people are watching. That's just all there is to it. Oh yeah, this whole thing right here is die cast, and the thighs here are die cast as well. So lots of die cast in this guy. Oddly placed though, in my opinion. Hips forward, all the way forward. On a nice clicky ratchet. Back about that far. Yep, hip skirts get out of the way nice and easily. Outward motion. Lots of clicks out that way. Yeah, there is that thing of, yeah, it's either this or this. Nothing in between. This one of those times I'm like, I wish there was friction here instead, just because I wish I could have something in between these a little bit. Knees. Double jointed, but because of the shape of the back of the knee, you can only go this far, but still it's more than 90. So he's got double jointed knees. That's good. Down here at the feet, feet can move forward and kind of move back, and they go side to side quite a bit. That's pretty significant. Okay. So just don't try to move this outward. It can go inward, but yeah, don't try to move out or you'll start breaking something. But because of the shape of the heel, all this stuff, it can't really go any further back. This can kind of act as an additional heel, that spoiler can. So just be aware of that. It can be an additional heel if you need it to be. So just, if you need it to be. So there's that. And yeah, this is a phenomenal jazz, in my opinion. Phenomenal jazz. So just as a quick size comparison, here he is with MP10 Optimus, who's again off camera, but there. He's about right, about the same size as all the other Carbots. He looks good next to Optimus here, so yep, he's a good one. I say pick him up. He's about $100. I guess right now it's either this or Coolsville, although apparently there's rumors circulating of it's a official car version. But he's definitely worth it. Even as the car version comes out and it's amazing, this is still worth it. Especially if you're a jazz fanatic. I mean, you're probably going to buy them all anyway. So I'd highly recommend picking this guy up if you can find him. Apparently he might be in and out of stock for a while just because of Chinese Lunar New Year and all that stuff. But he's good. Worth it. I mean, yeah, some people complain about the plastic here. Swirly plastic. I don't mind it. It's kind of odd looking, but I think it's fine. Some people have resorted to painting it, so yeah. This is the Maketoys MTRM Downbeat.